Yeah.
I see like cylindrical kind of space around you. Let me touch you. It's you, but it's a projection around you made out of your own energies, and it's like green and blue projection mixed, almost like tie-dye colors of it, and it's like a cylinder around you, um, dissected into sections. Your arms are stuck in two sections. So it's like your body is divided into 7 sections. Yeah, and each body part has its own kind of space. And there's also they're not really communicating with each other type thing.
Okay.
And I get from you that's like when you talk to me telepathically, you say, I just feel like I'm a butterfly who was caught and put in the jar. That's a sensation from subconscious that it's trying to communicate to the rational conscious mind. Let's go back. So basically those, it looks kind of like glass plates that divide you into sections, your body, and it comes, those are like etheric implants on their own by themselves, because their function is to desensitize, to create a buffer zone of non-touch, non-exchange of information between different parts. It's as if you took a universe and you created division, so the energies would not flow the fluent way that they're supposed to do.
Okay.
And let's go back and see. I see like bright yellow planet, bright yellow waves. It has a yellow hue everywhere. Different kind of palettes of yellow, like yellow tulip flowers. And inside, there's little energy balls. One of those energy balls are you, and I see you bouncing back and forth from the leaves to the flowers to the trees. And I see like constant bouncing act of those energies. Those actually souls that are produced by not, they don't come from the center of the planet, from the, not from the essence, but rather from the inside of the tulips, like the inside part, because stems of the tulips are connected to some almost like it's like a neurological system, well, more like cardiovascular maybe system of the planet. And this bright blue fluid looks like water running through it, and in that water there are like little dots, and they're coming from the essence of this planet. Trying to search for the name of the planet. I got the Arnia, Arnia. They are on the very back left corner of our universe. It's like I see it like this way, and I see the solar system here. Then I see that here's a swan, Cygnus, right? Constellation, and then I see over here like Orion further down, and you're like this way. And it fluctuates in between. It's like a planet is split in two parts. Never seen it like this before, because one seems to be physical, but another one is non-physical, and you're on this physical part, but you also have the access to non-physical part, which it's like a creation lab where you go to non-physical one and you can exercise your powers and create quickly, so you can compare how fast you create in physical versus non-physical. I see the shape shift into this kind of yellow looking figure, a little figure. Almost looks like it's got those boots that they got like twisted kind of boots, but it just that you're playing around with your shape and form, because you're all energy, but then on this that I'm looking at the physical part of it. It's like a division 50-50. Basically, it kind of feels that way, that it would be like a flat kind of color surface, but it's actually two blended into one. That's the perception illusion of being like a round flat circle, which totally is connected by a tunnel system to the other part. As you go through the tunnel, it's like almost like a portal. It looks like waterfall flowing, energetic waterfall. When you pass through it, you go to the physical part, and you become more solidified, and you wear this interesting outfits made out of like leaves. They look like leaves, and you have this interesting looking hats, almost like made out of flowers. Very mystical kind of world. But I feel like that's the beginning of you experiencing life, because after that, you a lot of times go to similar to Earth's planets, because you learn the creation of that physical fast, because it's very fast. You think about the thing and a shape or form of that thing that you want it to be, and then all of a sudden it becomes. So you're very careful about what you think about. I see like a portal connecting your planet to Earth. There's also a teleportation. It's like a round stage made out of glass. It looks like ice, but it's not. It's just like bluish glass right in the middle of this physical part of the planet. And that glass, when you stand right in the middle of it, it has a little circle where you're supposed to position yourself inside. It dissolves also, almost like dissolving the physical into non-physical, but you just see like layers of coming off, and they happen to be the same thing, like 7 layers, but they're more like horizontal. They disappear, and at some point you don't see you, but then you reappear, let's say Earth or some other planet, physical. You used to incarnate on Mars, your particular race of beings before it was taken over. But then all the surface of Mars was gone after the explosion of the bomb. It looks like a huge ring of fire going, exploding there. So you couldn't be there anymore according to the vibration, and everything changed, including climate and like layers of atmosphere became different. So you can incarnate there anymore, but you still do it. You start doing it on repeat, related to Earth. Earth's different dimensions of Earth, because it has like a combination of different beautiful things growing and existing, things that you recognize from other galaxies that you've been in contact with. And so I see you maturing as this bright yellow ball. Then you go to this physical heart standing in the middle of the glass around. It's almost like a stage on the stem or a flower on the stem, but it's an artificial construction. And I see you disappear little by little, and then you reappear as a butterfly on Earth. And I see like a guy catching you. Was the net, and you're like in some tropical environment. He has a collection of butterflies and other different insectoid forms from there. And you're like this bright yellow, huge, with little black dots on the first two wings, and the other two on the back wings. He catches you, brings you to his house. It's like made out of wood, and a pretty good looking house in the woods. But I feel like he's a scientist. He's just studying and collecting, and he doesn't feel. There's no emotion because he has an implant in his heart, in his head, his torso. So it kind of blocks his perception of hurting and even smallest forms of life. They have consciousness, and I see you being pinned down in a box. Oh, those boxes. Some of them he sells, some of them he keeps. I see some local people take them, and I see some market for tourists, and I see you being sold and brought on a plane. And it's like when he dries you off, he inserts those needles all around, tiny, almost like acupuncture needles. And you feel dissected at that moment, because your consciousness leaves. It's a huge butterfly. It's really big. You could fill out this body with your consciousness, and you were still kind of hovering over yourself also, because it's like you couldn't completely condense yourself into the body, but you're waiting for the next incarnation. It's like an incarnation cycle that you create for yourself to it's not an evolution, it's just a progress of trying on different, let's say we try on different clothes, different styles, and you try different bodies, how they function. Like how would it be to be in a body of a butterfly? How would it be to be in a body of a bird? Like that. So next thing, you actually wanted to be a bird, and you felt like when you get in the progression mode to the point when you become a human, you can use a body of a human for your experiences. It's like you get scared to do that because you actually because you got scared there as a butterfly when you come out of that body. I see you getting captured by a gnat. Looks like an etheric gnat, almost like the same one that this what came out of my head. The scientist got you. I had a name Greg from Australia. Came there to study different forms. And it's like I see like a gray alien got you in a gnat, and he brings you, he puts you in his tube, brings you to the lab. The lab has mostly insectoids. They look like ants. Some of them like bees. Others are like mantis, or it's either mantis who like have this white, almost like yellowish white skin, and then there are grasshoppers also. And they look at you, it's like they spread you out, they cut you up into pieces. Yeah, that cutting into pieces came from this. It's like they glued you by inserting those plates. It's like a plates of glue or connection or whatever, for better conduction of to better conduct the tissue as a conductor. And they plug in some frequencies sometimes to you to see how your body reacts. Usually do it in your sleep so you don't start questioning what is going on, why you feel this way or that way, why is your body feels kind of funny today. Even though I feel like you have side effects from it in the daytime also. And from that life on, there's 10 more lives go from that one, so 11. This is 11th life, yours. And you feel like you're stuck, like the butterfly. It's like you're trying to create this fake emotion of being happy, but there's a conflict going on between your subconscious and conscious, because you totally deep down understand you're not that happy. Something missing, and that something missing is the understanding of how they actually, how you came here by using your free will, but then your free will was taken away from you by you being caught. So, and just then you feel very compassionate about empathic about animals and then like anything that has life in it, you feel compassionate because you feel like you're one of them.
Yes.
You immediately feel somebody's pain, especially if it's an animal or a bird, or somebody who you communicate telepathically. It happens at a very deep level. because that's what you're used to in terms of communication. And I see like interesting forms of different animals that you dealt with a lot of animals in your previous lives, and basically they're parallel lives, so you are dealing with them. That's why you feel deeply connected to them. What you're doing now is you're basically just going that very first life of yours on this planet, and you create like a bubble of protection around yourself. It's kind of pretty funny the way it goes now, because you changed the whole story, the timeline, the events. This guy's Greg, because he's trying to catch you, but is not succeeding in it. It's almost like you like a soap bubble. You keep coming out through the out of the snap. He like can't believe, he's thinking that he has a hole or something, but it's just the your creation, because now you know that before you couldn't understand that you can actually get caught and forced, or they could use your feelings against you, or feelings of fear, or missing your planet, or rethinking some things, doubting, any of those feelings you didn't think that can be used to keep you hostage, to get attached to you like he did. So I see this gray standing in your energy sphere, and I see you are crying, laying on your bed, in your energy sphere, and he keeps like touching you, and you keep pushing him away, as if he was touching and making sure that all the plates are inserted correctly and staying in correctly, and you don't move them in your body. So you froze him, then you froze one. He's more like a grasshopper looking at me from the right here. There is some. He's the one related to you, because he's been doing some of the insertion and reinsertion of those. You know, they also have those. It's like 7 plates that you're taking out now, but they also like if you metallic, like those needles, they're etheric needles that you almost like recreated in your body, because you felt that pain of being poked with them as the butterfly, and because it's really got embedded into your mental and emotional bodies. I see almost like holes in your energy sphere. Those needles, there are also 7 of them, so you take them, you patch the holes. There's no needles actually. It's like your own creation based on your memory and trauma. So you're saying that you want to get rid of that trauma also. So you create like a capsule that opens up, you lay down, and there's a nice, it transforms you like in your mind to beach, and the sun and the beach cleanses you. It penetrates your emotional, mental bodies, laying one on top of the other, and it goes like it pins all the negative energies or traumas that are in your energy bodies, and it burns them up, turn to nothing. Also, your DNA, DNA is it's like 16 different DNA, and they are forming little the loops. I don't know how to. It's like goes like this, and twists, and goes yet in another one and twists. Where it twists are codons and connecting. And so there are 16 of them. You're just returning back to your original. They've been doing some injections to make you forget, because you try to rebellion a lot. You try to fight them back, because in one of the lives you met somebody who made you remember that caused you to rebellion, but they kept like inserting some bright blue, electric blue fluid into your veins and the hand, like they're fixated on that event. And you took everything out and you cleansed it with your own light from inside. It's very bright yellow. It's like it's kind of like sun energy, but in that bright yellow color. So see, they didn't create any clones, but they make you produce some babies for them. I see there are 32 of them. 28 survived out of 32. They would literally insert they would take some genetic material from you, not necessarily from not the eggs, the other serum from your blood serum, and then they would connect it with their genetic material, and they would create a hybrid. They would put the hybrid into your uterus for, you see how many? It's almost 2 weeks. But then after this 2-week program of time lab, they would take them out. There would be 2 or 3 at a time. They would insert some programming into their heads, because they have to do it when they're formed. They put them back in your uterus, let you carry them for 2 more months, and then they take them out and take care of them later. But because you let them do it, because even though you rebelled a few times, because you're so connected to insectoid forms, you kind of thought that they were your babies. They created an illusion through the plate that was on top of your head, also like an illusion of you having your own babies as that butterfly. You're not butterfly anymore, you're a human body. So it's like little one layer of the other, they merge together. So you got a bit confused who you really are and what you're supposed to do, and what you're actually doing, because the Earth's life kind of got mixed up with that etheric life, when your etheric body is they take it, then they put it back, and then they take it, they put it back. It's in constant motion kind of process. Mostly take it when your physical body is asleep, or you're resting, or they catch those moments. So it's easier to manipulate that way. So you cleansed your mental, emotional bodies to call circuit cleanse. Even though you didn't there was no agreement in the beginning, but they somehow made you sign the agreement to produce hybrids. And that agreement is like, looks like a button, like a yellow plastic button going through paper. It's like a way of signing it. It really looks like a pin of some sort. When you pin something down, they brought you that paper. There's a big tall mantis. They brought it by your request. Yes, 2 pages actually. One page is not it's totally transparent. It's very tricky. It's like when you turned it around, you felt it was too thick, and you felt there was a physical paper on top and non-physical on the underneath side. And so you kind of like, you open it up, flipped it over, and you see that it's transparent, and it's written with, as if it was written with, you know, when you write with the lemon juice, that wouldn't show, but you put it on the light, like it would show. So kind of like this technology there, but it's a computer system of theirs on the spaceship that they do all this research. You just like take scissors, you cut them. I don't know why you didn't rip them, but you prepare to cut them, and then you put them on fire in a bowl, the glass bowl, burns down to black dust, and you just throw it with the bowl out in the, to the portal. And it's like I see you already on your planet. I see you like at this bouncy ball again. And you're saying you automatically, it's like this, looks like this. It's the information that spreads from you about the Earth, and that we have to wait a little more longer to be able to incarnate on it freely, because there's still AI and beings related to AI or taking over some souls and using them for energy and for research. Better not go now. So you spread that information also to them. But now you look whole. You look like this yellowish energy just flowing freely all around in the clockwise direction. It looks perfect now. Let me jingle. Open the giant door, because this mantis is so tall. I actually tell you that you can make it smaller. You can shrink him too. You're a creative being. You can turn him into a toy if you wanted to, or into a dog or a cat or any other animal. Because when somebody's connected to you, you can do anything you want with them, as if they voluntarily came into your own energy sphere that doesn't belong to them, but they've been manipulating it by using your energies, simply because you didn't know they were in your energy sphere. So you made him small, reopened another small portal, and ordering them around. You see this gray still being frozen. You kind of push him through the portal, and disappears together with the mantis and that cricket or grasshopper type. Yeah, grasshopper, more like that. Cream. So they're gone. All the plates, they all have these devices, and they also, it's like they incorporated plates into the 7 chakras. So I see you like all clean and perfectly moving. So if you want, you can ask questions.
Are the plates still there in the chakras?
No. You just threw everything out. You opened it.
Okay.
Took everything out. You took the plates out, and they were kind of stuck on chakras.
Okay. Great. Oh, good. And then the Greg character, the scientist, does he go into any of my other lives? Is he in any of my other lives?
Yeah, the Scientologist. He was no, no. He was just in that life. That happened to be that one that Matrix used to grab you, because Matrix doesn't like free flowing energies, and Matrix programs always want everybody to be in the program and programmed and in the system, and you were outside of the system. So they used that guy to get you, to grab you, to scare you, you know. So when you lower your vibration, you get scared,
Mhm.
reduce no emotion or thought, that's when they get you.
And so with the hybrids, was that how many previous lives was that, or is that a current life too?
Those from that life, that from the first life that he caught you, they started doing hybrids. Basically, they didn't succeed only in 4 of them, which looks like it was that second life that they were trying to make them. But then they figured out what to do. I think they started injecting you with something for you to accept, to stop. It's like as if somebody increased the dose of anesthesia, so you became obedient.
Mm, okay. And is that program still going on, or have I been able, I froze them and opened the portal?
No. I mean, you raised everything. You destroyed all the contracts, all the beings, all the implants. You're absolutely clean right now. As I'm looking at you.
That feels much better. Oh man.
Mm.
um, so with the, I think I'm just stuck on this hybrid part. If I had all these 32 babies and 28 made it, so would
28.
28 made it. And so do I have connections with them still? Do I
You
know?
disconnected. Actually, you disconnected because you raised your vibration,
Mm,
and you just, because the whole point is to disconnect. And also you can also go back. I don't know, your, for some reason your subconscious is like very apprehensive about going back and just canceling out the taken of your DNA
mhm.
to create them in the first place, because you can also do that. You can change the timeline. But I keep telling your subconscious, and you are, no, but they are alive. I said, well, you can disconnect them. But this thing is, they are mutated. It's very small. It's about 22, 23% of your DNA mixed with
Okay.
them. Maybe that's why you don't want to do it, because they can't really do much. They cannot, let's say, reconstruct your shape and form.
Okay. Okay. And are there, I just want to make sure I'm breaking as many cycles as I can this lifetime that I've maybe had in previous lifetimes. Is there, I don't know.
Here's the system is like this. When you wake up in one lifetime, you automatically wake up in other lifetimes. And also, if you cleanse yourself in this lifetime, it's like a chain reaction, it's like a domino effect. Your soul uses the information to cleanse your other timelines or other parallel lives. So that's why we don't go through all of them, because some people have 300 and 400 and more lives, and it will take days to do that.
Mhm.
You just do it automatically. Everything is based on a thought. You think, it's done. That's how it's done in the etheric. In the physical, it takes physical time to to get the results, and they're gonna calm down with time. But the main thing is to free your soul, and that's what you just.
Okay, so I have my soul is becoming freed, right?
It became free. It's not. It's not a continuous. It already in the past. You freed yourself already.
Okay, good. And then are there any soul family members that are close to me? Are there any people from my previous lives that are close to me?
There's a lot of soulmates around you from your same planet who incarnated this planet in 3D. It's just something you do from that planet incarnated on Earth in 3D. And right now, I mean, you go with the vibration you're now, don't lower it. Not lowering it, you would meet a lot of, you know, well, there's one already, but there's also the other ones around
Mhm.
that, by your vibration. It's a matter of tuning in into the frequency of others so they can become your good friends, or can meet them also. All of us have a lot of, actually, most of us have a lot of soulmates that we spent lifetimes with. Not necessarily on this planet, on other planets. So we just meet them. We arrange to meet them at a soul level.
I'm coming. Let's see what else. What other questions can I ask? It's all just so much. So I'm just trying to. The bouncing thing really was really kind of came to me. I used to bounce when I was younger, so I did that for my whole life. And so when you said that bouncing energy, that really just hit home. That and also the animal part especially hit home. What else am I trying to think? So not good at asking questions.
Yeah, a lot of information kind of have to process it, right?
Yeah. Um, so Arnia was the name of the planet, the yellow planet, correct? Arnia. Okay. And that was a spiritual and physical dimension.
Yeah, it's like one half is energetic and another physical. It's like the physical part was created on purpose to be able to experience it. But then you cannot be in human form unless you go and incarnate in a human body, which you're all striving for, you're all excited about to try.
Did I ever become a bird, or did I just become a butterfly again?
No, well, you wanted to become a bird, but they forced you into a human body after you got caught as a butterfly.
Okay.
But you were a bird on different planets for sure. You've been birds quite a.
Um, let's see. Any tools that I can carry in this life that I got from previous lives?
I don't know. It's just like your subconscious is just happy and saying that just carry on being happy, enjoy your life, and you don't really like talking much because you're telepathy connect. And you're all about being free and happy. That's what I. And you don't really give yourself instructions at the soul level much. You just kind of like enjoy the sun and the air, type.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, that's good to know. Let's see. I guess anything that I can do to raise my vibration, just be positive and happy.
You raise your vibration by wanting. Whatever you want just happens. You can raise your vibration as high as you want, but it's always, remember the vibration is, it's a wave, right? You cannot stay at time, so it's natural. When you're tired, it goes down a bit. If you catch a cold, it goes down because you're still in the human body. It's still in. So do the best you can, because now they mask the mechanisms of interference, how they get attached to you through low vibration. It's just low to kind of like monitor and analyze your thoughts and emotions and reactions to different situations. And that should help you monitor and stay in certain vibrational level that desired, not to let anybody else in the energy sphere again. Um, or just flying all over it. It's just like this, like kids, just happy. That's all. No,
Oh, that's good. Oh, good. Yeah, I don't talk much. I'm a very reserved person until I know people. So I'm very reserved until I feel that they can connect with me, and then I open up a lot, but I'm very closed off to a lot of people. Let's see. I do have weird fears. I have a very deep fear of white vans. Is that anywhere? I don't know, but I am very scared of white vans, and I don't know why I would be, and it's just been that my whole life.
it's not the color that you're afraid of. You're afraid of white color, of the white robes, and also it's like that room that they kept you in. It looks like a big rectangular white kind of room, and that space where insectoids were doing research on you and injections. So it all reminds you. They would also put you sometimes into this machine. It looks like a box in a way. So it's all like subliminal, subconscious kind of memory that would come up related to the shape and color.
Okay. Yeah, that's always been there.
You just work on it now because you know the why. Once you know why, it's the fear is erased.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really nice. What other questions? I think. The empathic or empatheticness and intuition with animals is I've always felt very connected to animals, always. And I swear I can read what my dog is thinking. But is, maybe should I go more on that journey, or trying to think of questions?
Which journey?
Connecting deeper with animals.
you're already connected to them.
Okay.
It's like it's in your DNA. There's nothing you should do. Just use it.
Just use it. Okay. Um, is there, I need to do better questions.
Well, because you're bouncing right now, that's why I'm laughing. I mean, how can you form questions if you're bouncing all over and flying? And it's like a jumpy house. Really fun. Yeah, pretty tough to form. Yeah, to figure out questions in that condition.
So I do always, that's so funny. So I get these really big urges to bounce. Like I've always bounced, and I would go back and forth on a couch, and I would bounce since I was probably 2 and do that for hours. And then I still get urges to do that, to bounce and to let energy out essentially. Um yeah, is that part of it? Is that me feeling my energy just bouncing around?
Of course, yeah, because you're connected. That's you. It's who you are.
Yeah. Um, there is actually not was, a spirit in my parents' house that has bothered me for quite some time, my whole life, and my poor mother-in-law just had to um, deal with it. Is that soul or anything connected to me or anything like that? Or can you see anything?
Which connected? I don't see any connection like around you.
Okay, good. Okay. When I was growing up, there was a pretty heavy spirit that, could do things, could move beds, you could feel them come on the bed. Um, and that's just been no.
Something large and demonic ground kind of
Something, so it is large and demonic. And it's in that room. I knew it. Yeah.
not in that room. It's just that he has a connection to her. And it's supposed to scare people around her, so we can't through the energy of scaring the people. When you get scared, you lower your vibration and they get easily attached to you. So that's what we're doing.
Mm. Yes, he's been there my whole life and tried to. That's partially one of the reasons I used to not be able to sleep. Um, so, okay. So just keep my vibration up whenever I go back into that house, correct?
Yeah, just say that you refuse to be influenced by any beings. You should do it with any house, because any house can have something like this. Any building, any space.
Okay.
Just
Okay. That's good to know. Mm. Does my subconscious want to tell me anything that I is
bouncing. Enjoy. No, nothing, really nothing. I mean, I just look at the whole thing and just, it's really funny.
Okay, that's just so funny that I'm bouncing. Um, yeah, and I guess I do want to have children at some point, but I'm a little worried and scared with everything going on in the world right now. And is there always just stuff going on in the world and that I just
You create your own reality.
yeah.
That's outside of your energy sphere. Your energy sphere is your house. Inside your house is everything different. So don't let it affect you. You know, don't
Okay.
think, don't focus on it. Don't lose your energy focusing on it. because when you focus, you create. You get yourself, affected by it.
Okay. Good. I think I needed to hear that. I'm very connected to plants and I'm a big gardener and I love pollinators and I planted all my bulbs in our house recently. And is there anything was that part of any of my lives of just gardening and connecting with the earth? Is that something I should keep, that's a path. I feel like that's part of my calling is to heal the earth and be a steward of the earth.
Yeah, well, because you were born this flower, the planet that discovered with different plantation, flora, and that's why you're connected to it. You're just part of it. You feel deeply connected. So yeah, you should that's kind of like the focus of your attention for sure, by your certain DNA and by your experiences. That's what you should do. That's what your subconscious tells you. Just enjoy and what you do, enjoy what you do. So that's obviously what makes you happy. So do that.
Good. Questions. So with the grasshopper and it was a grasshopper, a gray, and a praying mantis. So they're all different species that were working together while I was there.
Yeah, the insectoid forms, they work together.
And I abolished all the agreements, so none of that should be happening anymore. And what about the 16 DNA? So is that from all different planets that are in my DNA, or all different? How does that work?
I just have experiences. It builds up, builds up, and it gets more and more strands as you go, as you get more lives and more experiences. And just so those ancient old souls, wise souls, they have more strands of DNA. The more younger souls have fewer, just like that.
And yeah, this is ever going. We have past lives and we have future lives, correct? And we have lives in parallel.
Yeah, they're basically all in parallel. It just more because your mind is linear, it thinks past and future, but in fact, past and future happening in the moment of now also. So it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense. Yeah, that's why, time is not linear. I do believe that it's all happening at the same time and it's just consciousness creating consciousness. Any
well, if you're done with questions, I can come out.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
I feel like you ran out. You're just like trying to go over. I think you need to re-listen to your session, and then a lot of things. The more you listen, the more you will understand.
Okay.
That's how it is. Like Dolores Cannon used to say. I mean, I don't do Dolores Cannon method. It's different, but she used to say, oh, you have to listen it hundreds of times, and then because my clients usually tell me, the more I listen to it, the more I understand. So, and it's true. That's how it works.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah. Do you mind if I post it? If you give me the recording, I can blur your face if you want, or cover you. It's whatever.
Um, if my face is not involved in it, then yes, yeah,
Okay, you
yeah.
can send me a picture you want this as a thumbnail. Today I had a client in the morning and she sent me her own painting, so I covered her with her own painting.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe I'll do it with a butterfly.
I'll find a butterfly for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And how would you like me to send you this recording?
I don't know. You can stop the recording now. So what happens when